Hello. All right, start of section 2. I guess this would officially be day 7. Got a ride back to the trailhead this morning with Chad. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate that. Helps a ton. He gave me a RX bar and some salts too, so don't keel over out here, which will be great. Always love to have the salts in the desert. Got some water, and we're headed off from Gabe Zimmerman here. Headed that way over, I think that one, Micah Mountain. So feet are feeling pretty good, muscles are great. Been stretching out my calf this morning, my right calf, because got a nice little knot in that. And see what kind of rivers we can cross over and stuff. And he was telling me about a bunch of cat sightings, a bunch of rabbit animals, and stuff like that. So hopefully we don't run into any of those things. May end up losing that toenail there, which sucks, but it'd be my first one. I don't know, it looks a little black and blue. It's got a little pressure under it, maybe a little blister underneath it. We are definitely in saguaro country. These are pretty cool. I've never seen one up close before. Some nice little spines and ridges. Almost look like goat heads to a point. Fairly aggressive. Cool stuff. Pretty solid. Volunteer tributes here to make all this stuff possible. It's been nice today. It's been nice and overcast. The sun's just, it's still under the clouds here, so I've just been enjoying some of the salt in the water that Chad gave me. It's been really good. So other than that, keep on walking, getting into the hills over here. He said this is, I forget what area he said, but he said it's a major mountain lion hunting area, and to just keep an eye out. So this says this is just below Colossal Cave. This is the La Posta Quemada Ranch. Here's one that's been cut in half. Pretty much looks like wood inside. Interesting. The middle's kind of spongy. You have a hard wood layer here, and this is kind of spongy all the way out. Here's the top parts of that. Interesting. It's got these wood-looking circle formed in a ring inside of it. Cool. Never seen the side of a saguaro before. That's news to me. Just stopped and got a little water here. Yeah. It's definitely a great place to come hang out. Lots of little charcoal barbecues, horse hookups, a lot of mountain bikers. You got garbage, which is great. There's toilets over there. Alrighty, that is Micah Mountain, I think. Definitely up from where I am now. I gotta go down and then go up, so there will be some climbing, no doubt. I'll have to check the ranges on everything and see if doing it today would be a good idea or not. But I could probably make it a little ways up and see what the best option is. Nope, just got some water. Let the feet soak in here for a nice few minutes. It was great. Ooh, yeah, she was full. I didn't really get a video of me poking it, but it's definitely enough in there, and actually feels a lot better now. Ouch. Well, we're in the tent early tonight. It is 6 o'clock. Sat in the river for like a half an hour trying to get my knee to feel better, and popped a bunch of blisters, ate some food, clipped my toenails, clipped my fingernails, got a bunch of water from the river. So tomorrow I'll start through Saguaro National Park and probably just make my way all the way through it. I think it's like 17 or 18 miles, so it's definitely doable. Hopefully my knee is feeling a little bit better, but yeah, tent's holding up. It's also, the weather's supposed to deteriorate for the next few days, so we'll see how that goes tonight and then tomorrow. Oh, one of the things I forgot to add too was trail magic from, I think it was Strawberry and her significant other, or I'm not sure. Sorry, I didn't ask. But yeah, it was amazing. Just turning the corner and there's one of those Lifetime tables just full of gushers and Australian chocolates and chips and apples, bananas, Oreos, Pop-Tarts. I mean, I was like, is this a mirage? Good morning. Day 8. Another adventurous night. Sorry for the wind noise. As you can see, it's quite well, it rained and it was very windy last night, and everything I have on is soaked. Everything I had in my tent is soaked. Looking back, I realized that when it rains, the desert floor gets very soft, and then when it blows crazy wind, the tent stakes come out quite easily, and that causes the tent to cave in, and then when the rain is going sideways, it causes there to be a swimming pool in your tent quite quickly. Yeah, wow. Didn't know water could fill up a tent that fast, to tell you the truth. Everything I have in there is as wet as it could possibly be, as wet as it would be if I threw it in a river or a lake. And so I've been walking around for the last few hours just staying warm. You know, it's about 45 degrees and raining, so a little chilly. It was raining. It's finally stopped, which I'm glad for. I might head into town. It's supposed to be crappy weather for a few days, and everything is, like I said, as wet as it could possibly get. And so I'm just kind of weighing the options here. But yeah, sucks. I'm warm, so I'm fine and everything, which is great. But I'll tell you what, when it first happened, I was like, oh, I just blew my mind how quickly everything got soaking wet. We'll see how the adventure plays out here. It's true what they say about these synthetic puffy jackets, though. They do stay warm even when they're soaking wet, because underneath this poncho is my wet jacket and my wet shirt and a bunch of other wet stuff. And staying just warm, just fine. The poncho's breaking the wind and the jacket's keeping me insulated. So even though it's wet, it's like you peed your pants. It's a warm wet. It's raining again, but you can see, well, maybe you can see it. I don't know. There's a little light dusting of snow on the mountain there. So yeah, I mean, it's cold enough. Cold enough you don't want to be wet and soaking walking through the middle of nowhere, I'll tell you that. But what can you do? What's done is done. So now we just stay warm, and there's some people I met last night that have already said they're gonna bail out today. Some ladies, and I may ask if I can join them very politely in their method of transportation to the city or town or wherever they're going, because that doesn't sound like too bad of an idea to me right now, honestly. See my tracks from walking in the morning. Everything was so soaking wet still. You know, part of me really does want to go climb up that mountain. I really love this stuff. I'm not sure I should. Today's not going to be sunny, and that can be a problem. As wet as everything is, I just don't know if it will actually dry out today. It's kind of a crapshoot. It's kind of one of those things that you want to. I really want to. I love adventure. I love this stuff. This is great. Like, it sucks right at the time it's happening, but I love figuring it out and working through the challenges and everything. Sometimes I feel like I'm pushing my luck with certain ideas, and hiking up that mountain might be one of them if it's not going to be sunny today to dry anything out. It's hard to say, and I won't really know until later on, until I'm already up there. And if you get up there and it's not sunny, then what are you going to do, right? It's just one of those things. So I know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? Amazing smell of desert rain in the air too, which is awesome. Well, I talked to the kind ladies, and they said they would let me join them on the way out, which is fantastic. Yeah, I just came back here to the tent site to make sure I didn't forget anything. I gotta show you the tent stakes marks. So yeah, here's one. You can see how it just pulled right out of the ground. And then, yeah, the other one, I'm sure, was right here somewhere. Well, we're roughing it this morning, and then we'll get back on the trail and try for round 2. All right, off for round 2 here. As you can see, definitely still got some clouds in the area, and try and make the most of it. It's really nice to be able to dry everything out in the hotel last night. And I gotta say thanks again to everyone who brought me into town. It was definitely needed. That sleeping bag was so soaking wet. Like, it was crazy. It took all night to dry that thing out, and I'm hoping that it is actually dry everywhere. Of course, the hotel didn't have a laundry room or anything, so I just got a box fan and kept fluffing it with my hands and stuff, and it feels pretty dry. So we shan't make the mistake of putting stakes in the hard clay desert floor when it's gonna rain without rocks on top of them again. And hopefully we won't have any issues with getting completely soaking drenched in the middle of the night. Make it through the park today and see what we see. I think that's the skeleton of an old saguaro. It's pretty interesting. I was trying to figure out what that was, and I was like, it probably was a cactus, I suppose. So, saguaro. The skeleguaro, I guess. So somebody was telling me something very interesting also, is that these saguaros don't get, and I've heard different numbers, but the saguaros don't get these arms on them until they're like 75 or 80 years old, something like that. Which is pretty wild to think how long these cactuses have been here, and that they live to be, you know, like 120, 40, 60 years old, something like that. So they only grow in certain elevations for certain temperature climates and stuff like that. It's kind of wild to see how many of them there are around. And they get to a point up here, like on the hillside up there, like up here, where it's just absolutely covered in saguaros. You see how numerous they are out here. Once you get to a certain point, it's kind of wild. All right, made it back. So we came from that way. It's about 2.5 miles down the trail that way to the Loma Alta, I think it's called, trailhead, which is where I got to ride into town. And it is that away into infinity and beyond. Up the mountain, up Micah Mountain here. So we shall make the trek. Plan is to do it in one day. So we'll see if we can make our plans or not. So we are at 3,177 feet elevation at the moment, and I believe the top of the peak, at least wherever I'm headed on the trail, is about 8,500 feet, 8,600 feet, something like that. This place is awesome, especially after it rains. Man, it's a special time to walk through here, I think. That being said, there is quite a cloud shelf up there. That's going to be interesting to hike into. Amazing. Good stuff. Lots of rain. No shortage of water on the trail this time around. Getting up here. So I just looked and it's like 69% humidity. And my socks and shoes are soaked just from brush and vegetation. It's not one of those things you picture you're gonna have to deal with walking through a place like this. And I may have smuggled 3 pieces of pizza out of the hotel room to eat at a certain point as well. Well, no clouds yet. They've, I feel like, substantially subsided. I ran into 2 different people who turned back after camping at the camp that I just went past last night. Said they weren't comfortable with, winter conditions and stuff, so, which is completely fine. Very commendable. Got to be comfortable with what you're doing, even if you're comfortable with it. Like, I'm comfortable with camping and I still got soaked. And when you hear stuff like that, you're kind of like, do they know something I don't know? Makes you like second guess yourself a little bit. But by the looks of it, I think we're gonna be just fine. I just had a couple pieces of pizza, which is amazing trail food. As you can see, like down in these plants, that is snow. A good bit of snow up here. Of course, gotta leave mini-me. Oh, it's good to see I'm not the first one. What I was saying about second guessing yourself, this is about the opposite of that. Where you're like, oh, okay, somebody did it. I'll probably be okay. That is a regular old winter wonderland up here. Snowing. There's, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 inches of fresh snow, and it's great. Loving it. Awesome. I think I'm at 76, 72, and we shall see how much higher this goes. Saguaro National Park, otherwise known as the North Pole. Cool, made it to Manning Camp here. Very nice place. I was wondering if the footsteps were gonna stop at the cabin or if I was gonna have tracks to follow the whole way, which I am totally okay with. Always nice not to have to pull out your phone every 5 seconds, but you also need to be aware of where the tracks are going and if it is indeed the way you're going to. Well, caved in, put the jacket on. My sensor is set to alert me, I think, when it gets to 35 degrees. And so about the time that it goes off is I know I need to put my jacket on and then put my water filter in my jacket. You know, you want to protect that. You don't want that to freeze. So, and you know, I was getting a little chilly too. I just know I have one more climb coming up and then we're going down. Burr. Get windy up here. Yeah, I just had to show you this real quick. It's cool. Beautiful, beautiful it is. Let's see it. Let me get my watch out. It is 8,270 something feet here. There's the skies. Not too bad. Not too great, but not too bad. Whew. Made it. Yes. Oh man. Whew. That was a killer. 86:17. Sign is just right back there for the trail, so and it is definitely beautiful up here. I don't know if you can get a look at those frosty trees and stuff there. Amazing. Sun keeps poking out and pretty much blinding me since I seem to have misplaced my sunglasses somewhere. I know, surprise, surprise. Down we go, and down means we're going to warmth somewhere, which is good. It's not like it's really cold. As a matter of fact, I have this jacket. I don't know if you can see it, like tucked. Well, I had it like tucked up and under, and I can hardly wear it when I'm going uphill. It just, it's hot. So now will be a nice time I can actually do my waist strap back up. And it's funny to see the desert floor down through the trees down there. And then you look at our current winter wonderland and you're like, huh? Nice little whoop-de-doo in the old plans here of hike through the desert, they said. Water's scarce, they said, you know? So this is the infamous Italian spring. But yeah, there you have it. Must be it. Down we go. This is actually kind of nice. The snow creates a nice little bouncy thing to step on, which really helps the knees, to tell you the truth. Like power manning down the snow has been actually really fun and great. It packed like a huge snowball in my pant leg that I had to dig out of there. Because I was like, ooh, that's getting cold a little far up my leg there. So other than that, it's been pretty fun. Boy, that looks nasty. One of the great things about it being cold is when it, you know, rains, then it's really just snowing. So you don't have to put rain gear on. This is definitely, it's snowing a bit. Fun to navigate through this kind of stuff, I think. I don't know, it just adds to the fun to it. Okay, Officially out of the park. If I thought I would be visiting that park, that is not the experience I would have had in my mind. Well, it is very nice and calm down here. Made it pretty much into the valley floor. Oh, good morning. Started day 10. Definitely still snow up there, so. Yeah, it was chilly yesterday, so I checked the temperatures, and the low up there yesterday during the day was 34 degrees. So it was chilly. We are headed that way towards Mount Lemon. I need to make sure and lay my sleeping bag out. Seemed like it dried out pretty well in the hotel room, which is great. This is the Agua Caliente wash. I doubt it's caliente at all. It would be great if there was a hot spring around here, though. I'd totally just dive in it right now. Well, we've just been meandering through the hills here all morning and part of this afternoon. We're going up this wash and pretty much go up this valley all the way to Romero Pass. I'm happy to get one day in between having frozen feet. Today's been really nice. But yeah, tomorrow, cold feet. It's good to mentally prepare for that kind of stuff too. At least I think. Morning, folks. Day 11. I meant to take a video of the campsite I had last night. It was right down here by the river. And all the trees there. It was pretty cool. It was tucked up against one of those huge rocks down there, and the sound from the river was reverberating off the rock. So I was glad I had earplugs at that point, because it was loud. Great place for to camp next to somebody who snores, because you wouldn't hear it at all. Whew, this climb's no joke. Still going up. That is where we're going. Yeah, this kind of snow is nice. It's nice and squishy and sticky.
Super icy shit, or and
Right. Just standing here eating my little protein bar, and I was like, hey, I wonder what those are. Almost look like little cat prints or something. Pretty sweet looking rocks up there. They're like perfectly balanced, teeter-totter looking things. Keep looking up and seeing these. So funny. So cool. Does look like somebody just went around and stacked them up. Neat little waterfall. Alrighty, we made it to the quote-unquote top. They're sitting at 8,017 feet. Alrighty, made it to the Marshall Gulch trailhead here. Just came from Summer Haven up the mountains here. Cool little place. Great food. People have been real nice and everything. So yeah, just laying out all my stuff to dry here, which is fun. Figure might as well take the time to do it now. It's nice and sunny, so get the sleeping bag to dry a little bit. Tent dried out, and then yeah, we'll continue on down the valley here. I think we're dropping elevation quite quickly now, so we should pick up some heat and a little less snow. Well, that is a whole lot of cactus. Pretty cool. Like a cactus bush. Something you do not want to fall into. No, I don't know what kind of footprint that is. Bobcat, mountain lion, I don't know. I don't really know my footprints, but it's the first one I've seen on the trail here, so I will keep an eye out. Day 12. Just headed down into the town of Oracle. I do need to dry my sleeping bag in a dryer, even though I feel like it's pretty dry as far as moisture goes. I feel like it, I don't know, it's just a little clumpy inside and stuff, so I need some tennis balls in a dryer to beat it back into shape or whatever and make sure it's all the way dry. It's not quite as good as before it got wet now, so a video of our delicious water here. Water with plague, we decided?
Yep, little plague.
Little plague. Little plague never hurt anybody. It's nice and clear though. See how they have maybe a CNC or a water jet and all their 4x8 scraps of metal. They just hang them up and make fence slats out of them. Ingenious. Looks cool too. Going to eat at the Orr House tonight. Should be pretty fun.